Alright, here goes nothing. I don't think anyone is ready for my ugly face, but whatever. Hi! Feels so feels so awkward talking to a camera for the 100th time. Hi, my name is Matthias, also known as Matthew, and today I will talk about how I found out in a quite brutal way that I am ugly. And this is not some body dysmorphia that I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so ugly, and I am extra harsh and critical of myself. Instead, I have for a long time been convinced that I am attractive and that I am good looking. But me being ugly / unattractive is a conclusion that I have based on logical reasoning. So it is not something that necessarily I think of myself. I don't necessarily think I am ugly, but I have realized that logically I must be ugly. Because there have been things, and there still are things, that can only be explained by the fact that I am not as attractive as you might think. And that is what I want to talk about today. So, first, proof that I am ugly is that I have never really experienced a girl being actually attracted to me. Whenever I watch those YouTube videos like 5 girls a girl is secretly attracted to you, and I see all those like her eyes become this and that when she is attracted to you, I always think, girls never act like this. Or do they? Like, the only time I possibly experienced this is with a girl I used to date, but she made it very obvious. Like, she was very straightforward. She was like, are you single and stuff? But it is possible that the reason why she was being so obvious and so straightforward was because she was being manipulative, which kind of makes sense considering how she later acted. But other than that, I have never really experienced this. People tell you, if a girl is attracted to you, you will know, you will see in her eyes. But this is something I only see in like Hollywood movies. I have never seen this in real life. And I always thought this was normal. I always thought girls only behave like that in Hollywood movies and stuff. But apparently, every other dude I know, at least a few girls have been attracted to them at some point. And you might be thinking, oh, it's because those other guys are Chad, because they are 10 out of 10 attractive, but not really. For example, the Persian guy who is no longer my friend. Like, multiple girls were physically attracted to him, but, like, objectively speaking, he's not really tall, he's not 6'5". He's more around my height. He's like 5'9" or 5'10". He doesn't have any hunter eyes or anything like that. And I have seen a lot of guys that I think are average looking that have confirmed that at least a few girls have been attracted to them. And the fact that I cannot confirm that about myself means that I have to be below average looking, like not even average looking, and below average means ugly, which is quite heartbreaking, because for all those years, whenever I heard any girl say, oh, there was this guy, he's so super handsome, I have a crush on him, oh, there was this really handsome guy I was trying to impress. Whenever I heard that a girl was like secretly admiring a guy, I always pictured myself being that guy. I always pictured myself being the guy that girls were fantasizing about. I will talk more about that later, but the fact that arguably no girl has ever fantasized about me feels like a Stab in the chest! Now, to be fair, a lot of girls have said I am attractive and good looking, but I feel like actions speak louder than words. I feel like if a girl says I am attractive, but she is not actually attracted to me, like I cannot see in her eyes and all that she is genuinely attracted to me, then she probably doesn't mean what she says. And so, to this very day, I can say, I have barely experienced a girl being attracted to me, but almost every other guy I know has, even guys I think are average looking. I also have never gotten results on dating apps. Even though I keep changing my profile pictures all the time, I am taking and selecting pictures of myself that I can be proud of, but I get at most one match per week. And even when I get matches, those matches always end up ghosting me, so I get no results. And I thought this was normal, once again, but apparently this is not the same reality for everyone else. Apparently most dudes get matches, they get more matches than me, and they get at least one result from dating apps. And if you thought this was brutal, don't worry, it gets worse. You see, I have barely 200 followers on Instagram. However, everyone I know, including guys, they have at least like 300 followers on there. And yes, I post many pictures of myself on Instagram, which means that even the algorithm thinks I am ugly. It's similar here on YouTube. I'm not gonna diminish myself completely and say, oh, I am worthless. I think I have strengths, and one of them is that I am smart, or at least I am capable of being smart. Even if you disagree with my opinions, I believe that I have at least interesting things to say in many of my videos. But still, most of those videos perform poorly, even though I have such interesting things to say. The only videos that get attention here are either videos with outrageous titles like God equals scope, or with concerning titles like I don't deserve to live, which means I only get rage and sympathy views. Even though I have interesting things to say, people don't want to hear that because they are probably getting too distracted by the way I look. You know, it's brutal when even the algorithm thinks you're ugly. Because who cares about what girls think, am I right? The algorithm, the freaking algorithm, when it thinks you're ugly. Like, and obviously I was in denial. I could not believe that I, of all people, would be the ugly one. I was like, it is statistically impossible that the shortest end of the stick would fall on me, of all people. Like, why would it be me? Moi? Pourquoi moi? But then I realized that I am not like everyone else. The average person has body dysmorphia. They are worried that they are ugly. But I always thought I was the attractive one. I thought, like I previously said, that I was the one girls were fantasizing about. And I thought that being attractive was something to be proud of. And because of that, because I thought I was attractive, I was proud of myself. And then I realized the fact that I was even thinking all those thoughts was the number one sign that I am the ugly one. And this is because those who are actually attractive, they don't see being attractive as something to be proud of. because they are used to being attractive. They are used to having a lot of people from the opposite gender being attracted to them and falling in love with them. So to them, this is no big deal. But when you are ugly, you get little to no attention, especially from the opposite gender. So when a girl finally smiles at you or gives you a compliment, it feels like Christmas. And you're like, whoa, girl called me attractive. That must mean I am attractive. And it really gets to your head until you realize that the same girls not only give the same compliments to other guys, but they also have sex with those other guys, but they don't have it with you. And so, apologies if this sounds very dark, but I have realized that what exposes an ugly person are the thoughts inside the ugly person's brain. Ergo, inside the ugly brain. And this made me realize that not only am I ugly, but I am shamelessly playing into the stereotypes of being ugly. And so for a while, this made me quite ashamed of my own thoughts and my own brain. And so I have thoughts of that perhaps I should get lobotomized. Apologies once again. However, because of all of this, I then tried to figure out, what is it that makes me ugly? Is it my eyes? Is it my nose? Is it something else? Because when I looked in the mirror, I always looked good. And because I thought I was good looking, naturally, I took a lot of photos of myself. And that's when I started noticing that something was very wrong about my face. But I couldn't put my finger on what it was. I knew something wasn't right, but I did not know what it was. And so then I paid closer attention to my face. I looked at every angle, and eventually I realized one tiny detail that ruins everything. The detail in of itself is barely noticeable, but it plays a crucial role in the whole thing. Can you guess what it is? Well, I'm just gonna tell you. It's two lines here. They are extra white, those lines, which clashes with my otherwise red cheeks. It's not the mustache, it's what's above the mustache. Now, those lines are barely visible, especially from a close distance, but from a longer distance, they become quite visible and make my face look horrendous. And so I believe that those two lines are the main reason why I have barely experienced a girl being attracted to me, why I have barely been lucky with the algorithm, why I get no results on dating apps and all that. And so what I'm about to say might shock you, but I don't want to be ugly. I am not okay with being ugly. I cannot accept myself for being ugly. And that is because being ugly is the worst sin in our society. If you have low intelligence or a lack of empathy, you can usually make up for it with good looks. But if you are ugly, society has no mercy for you. You get poked with a stick and you get surrounded by wojacks telling you, it's over for you, it's over for you, bro. I want to be an 8 out of 10 Chad. Not just because I would like to have a girlfriend, but because it's the only thing that has ever brought me happiness. I think we all want to be happy, right? Wanting to be happy is in our nature. And back when I used to think that I was the super attractive guy that girls were secretly fantasizing about, this was the only time I remember genuinely being happy. I have tried other things like picking up different hobbies, learning languages, music, but nothing has ever brought me the same amount of happiness as feeling super attractive. Feeling super attractive was the only reason why I have made it this far. It's because I want to become a Chad. The reason why I used to watch The Red Pill is because it gave me hope. The Red Pill basically said, look, you might not be attractive right now, but if you do this and that, you can become a 10 out of 10 Giga Chad. And that gave me hope, and it was the only thing that kept me going. I know it sounds dark, but it's true. Like, I used to think I was at least a 9 out of 10, and that gave me happiness. But now that I have realized that I am actually a 4 out of 10, I want that happiness back! And so, I still want to become at least an 8 out of 10. But I have realized that you're not gonna be attractive if you don't put in effort. If you want something in life, you gotta work for it. And that's something I'm kind of working for at the moment. I am currently applying face cream, especially here and here, in order to get rid of those white lines. I am going to the gym in order to be muscular and build a nice aesthetic physique. And I am also trying to lose weight in order to look shredded and in order for my jawline to become more defined. I'm trying to eat as much protein as possible in order to build muscle, while eating as little carbs as possible to lose body fat. I am eating like 3 eggs on a usual day, plus a lot of meat. I am also dressing myself with nice clothing. For example, I sometimes rock leather jeans and stuff in order to look more attractive. And I also need to get enough sleep so that my eyes won't look tired, because as they say, eyes are the window to your soul, and so you really don't want your eyes to look unhealthy if you want to look attractive. However, the problem is that at the moment I am a busy person. I am studying full-time. I am managing 2 YouTube channels, including this one. I am currently producing music, I am going to the gym, and much more. And so this takes up a lot of my time, and because of that, I don't have time to get enough sleep most of the time. So I try to get enough sleep whenever I am able, whenever I actually have time, but maybe the time I put on those videos is meaningless if my eyes won't look well rested. Perhaps I should remove the foot from the gas pedal and stop uploading here for a while until I get enough rest and sleep more so that my eyes can look more well rested. But let me know what you think. And once again, I think most people will say that I look decent, but that would not explain the things mentioned earlier. I think the only logical explanation is that I am ugly.